Hello everyone and welcome to the Movie Fanatics. My name is Brannock. The Clone Wars is some of the best Star Wars media ever produced. It makes the prequel trilogy miles better than it is on its own and adds so much to the Star Wars universe. The Clone Wars began its life as a theatrical release, though it wasn't meant to be. The movie was supposed to be the first 4 episodes of the show, but George Lucas saw the episodes and thought the animation looked so good that it needed to be on the big screen. This is hilarious to me because the animation in the Clone Wars movie is really bad, even for 2008. The Clone Wars TV show was released a few months after the movie on Cartoon Network, ran for 5 seasons, and was canceled. The 6th season came out on Netflix along with the first 5. The 7th and final season was announced to be returning on Disney+, and the episodes aired in 2020. The season would consist of episodes that were started before the show was canceled, which were then finished and released. And that brings us to now. The 7th season has been out for several months now, so how was it? Oh, get ready, shoulders. There are 3 story arcs in Season 7, and to be fair to all of them, I'm going to review them separately, and then give my thoughts on the season as a whole. Also, there will be spoilers. So, let's start with the first arc, The Bad Batch. Bad Batch is fine, nothing crazy, but it's alright. The Bad Batch is a story of a small group of clones that were genetically modified to be better soldiers. They're Clone Force 99. Captain Rex finds out that a clone named Echo, who was thought to be dead, is possibly alive. So they all try to find him. Turns out he is alive, and has been made into a separatist cyborg that acted as an algorithm. So they bring him home, and at the very end of the arc, he joins the Bad Batch. For starters, I think this is a fine arc to start off the season with, but most of my problems with it stem from the fact that this arc adds nothing to the story at large in Season 7. The creator of the show, Dave Filoni, said that they chose this arc to finish because they wanted an arc with Rex, so his story would intersect with Ahsoka's for the final arc. But this arc doesn't really add anything to Rex's story in the final arc, so its inclusion kind of confuses me. And the Bad Batch are never heard from, thought of, talked about, ever again. So, why was this arc included in Season 7? However, I do like 3 of the episodes, and this arc does explore Anakin's dark side a little bit when he kills Admiral Trench. The episode I do not like is the 3rd one, On the Wings of Kiradax. This episode features Anakin, the Bad Batch, and Rex defending a local village of aliens from the Separatists after rescuing Echo. This episode is just filler, and it constitutes a problem I have with this season at large. A lot of it is filler. Sure, the Clone Wars has always been full of filler, but this is the last season, and there are only 12 episodes, so this isn't a good place for it. Also, in the last episode, the Bad Batch are concerned that Echo is still on the Separatist side. This literally goes nowhere, and only exists to tease the audience. I do have my positives with this season, though. I think the concept of Echo being alive is really good. I wish you were more than just the guy that plugs into the computer, deactivates the cameras, or whatever. Although that was cool to see. And plus, this arc is really fun and an entertaining ride. My problems with these episodes are how they don't really contribute to the ones that come after, and that's not really an issue with the arc itself. So I'm giving the Bad Batch arc a 6 out of 10. So that was pretty great. Now let's see what we get to watch next. This next arc features Ahsoka and the Martez sisters. I'm just going to be calling it the Sisters arc from here on out. This arc is bad. I don't understand why this arc is in this season. It's so bland and annoying, and it drives me up the wall! So basically, this arc features Ahsoka. Yeah! And the 2 Martez sisters, Trace and Rafa. In the first episode, Trace and Ahsoka chase a robot around the city. Then in the next episode, Rafa is smuggling spice to the Pikes, a crime syndicate, in Trace's ship. Trace dumps the spice out of fear that the Pikes will take her ship. The Pikes find out that they have no spice. Bing bang, they're in prison. Don't worry, because they get out by the end of the arc, and then Ahsoka leaves with some Mandalorians to go find Maul. Okay, let's start with the sisters. The one Ahsoka meets first is Trace. She's young, naive, and really annoying. Rafa is older, more savvy, and both of them are struggling to make ends meet. They're both very anti-Jedi because their parents were killed in a speeder crash caused by Zero the Hutt's escape from prison. I actually like this because public support of the Jedi and the war was dropping, and it's nice to see that concept explored more. But gosh, this arc is boring. My problem with filler in this season pretty much stems from this one arc. In one episode, the third episode, the gang starts out in prison, then they try to escape, then they get captured, and then they wind up in the same prison. I can't make this up. This is such a waste of time. In Season 5, there was an arc about D Squad, a group consisting of R2-D2, some droids, and a little bug general guy, infiltrating a separatist ship to steal a doohickey, and they get stranded in the desert, and it's bad. This arc was useless and boring, and it used to be my least favorite in the entire show, but now it's at number 2. Even though the D Squad is unquestionably worse than this arc, I hate it much more because Season 5 was a full season. There was at least some excuse for a bad arc, but this is the last one, and there's only room for 3, and 1/3 of the season was wasted on this. And there's this scene where the sisters are trying to steal spice to rescue Ahsoka, and they just try to pass it off as an unregistered pickup. So this Trandoshan guy in charge comes over and tells them they can't have the spice, and tries to, I guess, arrest them. So Rafa kills him by knocking him off a cliff. Wow. You guys are the ultimate Karens.
So where is this manager? Huh? Rafa, stop! There isn't one, is there? You little liar.
He's right behind you.
Oh, right.
So yeah, I know Ahsoka needed an arc before the last one, but this is not a good arc regardless. 3 out of 10. So here we are, the reason this season exists. The Siege of Mandalore and Order 66. This arc is good. At the end of the last arc, a group of Mandalorians informs Ahsoka that Darth Maul is hiding out in the capital city of Mandalore. She goes to Anakin and Obi-Wan for support for the siege, but Grievous attacks Coruscant, the beginning of Revenge of the Sith. So Ahsoka and Rex lead a battalion of clones to go try and capture Maul on Mandalore. Maul tells Ahsoka that Darth Sidious will soon rule the galaxy, and that Anakin will be his new apprentice because Count Dooku is now dead. So Ahsoka and Darth Maul engage in a lightsaber duel, and can I just say that this is easily my favorite animated lightsaber duel of all time. They brought back Ray Park to do motion capture for Maul, and because of this, the fight is just buttery smooth, and it looks really good. Maul is beaten and begs for death.
Let me go. Let me die. You're all going to burn. We're all going to die. You don't know what you're doing.
This part was unnerving because if a guy like Maul would rather die than experience what the galaxy will go through, then things are pretty serious. In the next episode, Order 66 is executed. The scene is tragic. Rex has to kill his friend and attempts to do so with tears in his eyes. He fires his blasters, and Anakin's Dark Deeds, a track from Revenge of the Sith, plays, which really surprised me. Ahsoka frees Maul so he can cause a diversion for her. So Maul does exactly what Ahsoka told him to do, and he causes chaos. He causes a diversion for Ahsoka to escape. He goes on a full-on rampage, though, killing clones left and right. He has his own Vader-esque hallway scene, and this is one of the coolest scenes in the entire season, hands down. Ahsoka takes out Rex's inhibitor chip, so Rex is a good guy again. Maul disables the hyperdrive on the Venator, and it's about to crash into a small moon. Maul steals a shuttle and gets away, and Ahsoka and Rex narrowly escape using a Y-wing. The last 5 minutes are perfect. Ahsoka and Rex bury the clones that died in the crash, and then Vader. Vader and the Empire find the wreckage of the Venator, and Vader finds the graves and Ahsoka's lightsaber, which she dropped next to the graves after she buried the clones. Vader takes the lightsaber, and he walks away. The show ends. The last arc is sad and tragic. Order 66 is done perfectly, and Darth Maul really shines in his role of guy who knows everything that's going on. Sam Witwer does an amazing job voicing Maul, and he really has perfected his character. It's still shocking to me how well these episodes were executed, and this is hands down the best Star Wars content outside of the original trilogy. These episodes were never something that I expected or knew I wanted, and you really just need to watch them for yourself. The emotion, the drama, the action, they're all amazing. and every second has you invested in the story. The first episode seems happy and triumphant, but there's this odd sense of dread because we all know what's about to come. The second episode, which is my personal favorite, features Maul and Ahsoka interacting, and it's masterfully done. And of course, the last 2 episodes are tragic and emotional. This arc was truly incredible, and I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. Scoring the season as a whole is really difficult because there's such a wide difference in quality among the episodes. I think when people think Clone Wars Season 7, they remember this. But this is still in there. I know a lot of people consider Season 7 their favorite season of the show, but for me, overall, my favorite is still Season 5. Sure, there's D-Squad, but there's also this. Spoilers for Season 5.
Like you said, only the strongest shall rule.
Honestly, I would have just added the Son of Dathomir arc for Maul. It's a story of how he escaped this sticky situation. It also would have impacted the last 4 episodes by having arcs beforehand featuring Rex, Ahsoka, and Maul. But either way, this season is mostly good, and one arc in particular is breathtaking. I'm going to give Clone Wars Season 7 a 7 out of 10. Have you ever been in this situation? The Republic has fallen, and the galaxy is in a terrible state. Well, you can keep your mind off the crisis by subscribing to The Movie Fanatics for all the film rankings and reviews you could need. Trust me, this is the channel you're looking for. Thanks for watching.